Yeah, we'll do that in a little bit.
All right.
Rethinking the offense a little bit. Yeah.
I guess this is just what coaching is.
It's a
No, I'm not rethinking it. I'm just thinking about some different. I don't know. I just watch. It's just spacing for me. I want to make sure that the guys have enough spacing.
You got any shooters that can do that?
A lot of shooters.
Okay, well, that's step one.
Yeah. So,
dude, me and Hunter did chain gang Saturday night for the football game.
really? Oh, dude, I saw that. Hey, hang on one second.
Yeah, you good.
So you did chain gang?
Yeah, man. Running down the sidelines, trying to scramble to get to the yard line. It was fun. It was kind of fun. We were on the opposite side. So, bleachers were only on one side, and Pikeville was on that side where the bleachers were, and we were mixed in with the other team and their sideline, so we got to hear everything that was going on. There was a lot of turnovers in the first half, and really throughout the game. We ended up winning by like 20 points or something, but it was kind of close. It was closer throughout most of the game, so it was intense over there. It was fun, man. I'd never been, not for a college game at least. I'd never done chain gang certainly, but it was kind of fun, man. I kind of want to do it again.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, glad to see you helping out. I like that chair, by the way. Are you in your office?
The chair? Oh, yeah. I'm in the office. Yeah.
Let me get a peek.
You're on a computer, dude. I'm not on a laptop right now.
Oh, I'm on the legit computer.
Yeah, no, I'm on the desktop. Yeah, I don't know. I'm in my squeaky chair. We got a couch over here in front of me. My desk kind of overlooks a little lounge area that we got. We got another desk over here. The assistant coach, Coach Compton's office is right there. And then the guys' locker room is like, kind of to my, what is that, 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of forward to my left.
10, 11. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said earlier, we were going through a lot of renovations and stuff. But now we've kind of settled down.
We got a cool chair.
Had our annual what?
You got a cool chair? Show the people.
Yeah, I do know.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Well, the people don't even see this anymore because we're still having YouTube technical difficulties, so I can't even get the visual on YouTube. We're working on it, people. We really are working on it. While we're talking about the people, Nate, hey, man, thank y'all again for a lot of, I just thank y'all for listening, for the people that do, and for the people that have said something in person. That means just as much as you giving us a follow or anything, but thank you to the people that do listen and talk about it and bring it up to us. That's pretty cool. So,
agreed. Definitely, thank you. Especially, life has definitely got more chaotic for both of us. Different roles, wives, children. My wife has been a saint throughout it all, but now I'm trying to watch a child and do a podcast, and it just. It complicates things, but I would say that it's still one of the more enjoyable things that I do to get and speak to people, like I've always said, that are smarter than I, although that is terrible grammar. But it's been a blast, man. I can't believe we've been doing this for over 2 years now, right?
Yeah, we didn't even bring that up, Nate. We didn't even bring that up.
Holy cow. This is like, we're probably right at 2 years.
We're going on like 2 years. This is week one of the beginning of year 3. Yeah, what will be the beginning of year 3. So we just wrapped up 2 years. 7. Yeah, I'm
more impressed that our marriage is still going between you and me, and that we're still making this work. But seriously, thank you to everybody that has come on. We've had some fantastic guests, and this podcast wouldn't be anything without them. It wouldn't be anything without our listeners as well. So really appreciate you guys. I know some people don't like the banter that we're doing right now, but it needs to be said.
It does.
Casey.
It does. What episode is this, by the way?
76, right?
No.
7?
75. We got the big 75.
This is 75? Oh, my goodness.
We've been all over the place. I thought we were at 75 2 episodes ago. Turns out this is 75.
Do you know any basketball players with a number 75? I don't.
I don't know if there's been a 75. I don't know.
But you know what? While you're looking it up, Asa, I'm going to give a shout out to the All-NBA or to the NBA all-time 75 team or whatever that was.
Oh, yeah.
This could be our All-NBA 75 team. What is it called?
I think that it was a 75th anniversary team or something.
Yeah, 75th anniversary, something like that. But
yeah, that just happened recently.
yeah,
okay.
but
Listen, look, I typed in NBA players who wear 75, and literally the first thing that comes up was 75th anniversary team.
So I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out for the 75th team. We didn't have them as 11, which would have been our Sticks episode, but we weren't doing this yet. But I'm going to go ahead and give my 75th shout out to Klay Thompson. Feels like you got left off of it. I'm going to go ahead and put him on it.
He did. There were a couple. Didn't Dwight get left off that list?
Yeah, which is crazy.
Dwight got left off.
And I think AD is a really, really good player, but I just think Dwight Howard's full encompassing career is better than AD's right now. And I say that not because AD is not a good basketball player. He's had injuries, a lot of injuries that have deterred him, I guess, along the way. But he made it to the first round for the Pelicans. But Dwight Howard took that Magic team to a finals. And now that being said, Jameer Nelson was an absolute leader, absolute stud. They had Hito Turkoglu. Did I say his name right?
Yeah,
and then they had big buddy that played with Ray Allen, shooter, Rashard. So they definitely had some guys, but to get that team, I mean, it was a Dwight Howard show, man. And, well, honestly, it was a Hito Turkoglu show. He was a beast.
He was.
But,
he was.
Am I saying his name right? Hito?
I think it's Hito Turkoglu.
Yeah.
Hito Turkoglu. Not too far.
But anyway, they know who I'm talking about. But Dwight Howard definitely should be on that list, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, he probably should have been on that list. They got, yeah. I mean, this is a good
Klay Thompson has the most points scored in a quarter ever. So I feel that's a pretty big accomplishment. And I mean, once again, points don't equate to winning, but I mean,
I'm looking at this list, dude, and I'm looking at this list, and I don't know if you're taking all 75 years of the NBA of the league. I don't know. I don't know if he is solidified. Obviously, I just don't know.
That's fair. Has he ever been a top 5 player in the league?
No.
And you would probably say by decades. I mean, the people that say Bob Cousy, plumbers, all this stuff, and the other. Yeah. Without Bob Cousy's, without the Jerry West, without all these other guys, Oscar Robertson, without all these other guys, we wouldn't have the NBA that we have today. And we wouldn't have the NBA that we're going to have in 10 years from now, et cetera. So I just think you got to appreciate the generations of the league.
George Mikan, I mean, his name may be on this list. No, George Mikan his name may last longer than anybody else's just because everybody does Mikan layups to warm up.
Did it the other day.
Yeah. Well, guys, I mean, his name is going to last forever.
Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, that stuff, I love Klay Thompson to death. I think he is the best shooter of all time. Steph's the best shooter of all time, but best catch and shoot shooter. I mean, you'd have to think it's Klay Thompson.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I love Ray Allen too, but
no doubt. All right, man. Well, 75, ready to get rolling?
Let's do it.
All right, man. Right now I'm in a marketing management class. And so I've done third assignments due, this Sunday. So I've done, that's what I'm in right now. We almost were about to be in 2, but we had to get that taken care of. I was also going to be in a managerial accounting class. And I was like, no, we're not. We're not doing that.
That's it.
I got to stick to one thing at a time. I can't get
60 hours a week. Yeah.
Yeah, not at all, man. Oh my gosh.
What's up,
Nate, this is Mario. This is Nate.
Mario, sorry. This is what I'm trying to do at the same time. So.
Oh, yeah. You got the
I told Nate, I said, look, man, Steph Curry, all these NBA dudes, Jason Tatum, they bring their little ones to the podium. I said, you can bring Roman up to the podcast.
100%.
Mario, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Yourself?
Man, no complaints. Just enjoying fatherhood over here.
That's it. 100%. Good.
Rio, you're you don't have a family or anything right now, do you?
I got a fiance.
Oh, okay.
Fiance, yeah. Getting married next fall.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's big time, dude. Congratulations. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and get into it. We got Coach Mario Celebre joining the show with us today. Mario, appreciate you coming on. Mario is the assistant coach. It was Ryerson University, and now it is Toronto Metropolitan University.
That is correct. Yeah.
Got you. Well, man, again, so assistant coach there. I appreciate you coming on, dude. Talk to us, man. How's everything going? I know new school year, guys getting situated and everything. How's everything going?
Everything's good. It's picking up. A lot of new guys this year. So just getting them acclimated to, our system and expectations. But, we're excited. We're excited. We have a young core, but a hungry core. So we're excited to get the season started. And the season doesn't start till about early November. So we still got a lot of time to work on, what we need to get done. But no, like I said, excited for this group and excited for the season coming up.
So how many years have you been there, Rio?
So this will be my third year, but the first year was COVID. So second actual season.
Awesome. Oh, so you guys didn't even play year one because in Toronto. Gotcha.
Exactly. Yeah, you guys were still playing in that first year of COVID, but us in Canada, we got basically locked out. We had nothing going on.
So y'all couldn't do anything. No practices. No. I mean, literally, it was shut down.
Man, we went for about 2 months.
Okay.
I think September, October. I don't know which wave it was, whether it was the second or third wave that hit in November. Yeah. And that wiped us out for the next 8 months. God. So we weren't able to get back in till, I want to say, July, August.
So Rio, what it looked like for you during that time?
Yeah, that's
basketball-wise?
Just everything.
Life. How were you keeping your sanity? What were you doing?
Could you see the guys? Were the guys not even coming to campus? Everything. You and your fiance, everything. What was going on?
It was tough, man. It was tough. Basketball wise, we didn't see them at all. A lot of Zoom calls. We had yoga sessions via Zoom, team meetings via Zoom, film sessions via Zoom. But yeah, I'm sure you guys know how it goes. By the time you get to that second, third month, guys aren't as locked in, as tuned in, and rightfully so, right? They know there's no season going on. They know they're going to have to wait probably another 8 to 10 months to get back on the court. So it's tough to keep them engaged, throughout that time. Life itself, I wouldn't say it wasn't as bad as the basketball side of things, right? You're still able to see friends, see family. So in that sense, it was good, still able to work. But when you love basketball, as much as I do, all you want to do is be in the gym and be with the guys. So being away from that was tough for that year, for sure.
Well, man, let's talk about that. Let's just get on the basketball journey, man. Because I met you for the first time with Coach Russ. Where we go to eat that day? We were at Double Dogs off Charlotte. Yeah. Man, and I met you that day through Russ, like we said. Man, just talk to me about it, because I don't know a ton. I don't know about Mario's journey to where how he's gotten to where he is now. Talk to us a little bit about that.
100%. Yeah. Growing up, I started off in hockey as a young boy. Yeah.
Toronto. Okay. I get it.
Wasn't that good. I think I stopped when I was in grade 3. So maybe when I was 8 years old, didn't have the best season. My dad kind of just looks at me. He's like, what do you think about basketball? I'm like, yeah, let's give it a shot. I know I'm not that good at hockey, so let's make the switch. So honestly, since 8, 9 years old, playing basketball. My dad was a coach. So he coached at a high school, in Toronto, and he had some pretty good success, some pretty good talent coming through his school. So I think just being around the game from a young age, that's where I kind of fell in love with it. On the road with my dad, if he had to go to tournaments, just continuing to be in the gym. So I think I always knew I wanted to be a coach, from a young age. I didn't know exactly what level, to what capacity, but I knew I just wanted to be a basketball coach. So I really started coaching when I was 20 years old. So about 10 years ago, about 9, 10 years ago, I started coaching, went back to my old high school and just got involved, with the program there. And we had some pretty good success, for about 3 years. But it was difficult, in the sense, Canada, especially when you're just at a normal high school with administration always changing, sometimes you don't see eye to eye. You don't have the same vision of what you want to do with the program. So I started off really well, but by the time the third year came in, you didn't really get the support from the administration. So at that point, I kind of knew I loved coaching and I wanted to, make a career of it. It didn't really matter the level. I just wanted to, go basically 10 toes in and figure it out. But still, like, my idea was, I'll be a teacher. That was, kind of the alignment. I'll be a teacher and then a coach. That was the dream for me growing up. Teach phys ed, after school, coach basketball. But, as the years went on, I knew, this is what I want to do full time. I want to be a coach. So after the 3 years of high school, I really wanted to break into the college game, in Canada. And it's interesting because I wouldn't say it's as competitive as the States of trying to land a GA spot or student manager or what the case is in coaching, but there's just not as many jobs. Being in Toronto, you have basically 3 choices to pick from for the university level. So, through that, I was able to meet up with an assistant coach at University of Toronto. And then he put me in contact with the head coach there, and I was able to set up a meeting. Funny story with that. During that time, I'm playing around with Synergy, doing a course with Synergy. And he tells me, like, come in, show me, what edits you've made, show me a bit of your work. I go into that meeting, probably nervous as heck. I sit down with them, open up my laptop, start plugging in my username pass for Synergy. And it basically just said, denied. Like, did you forget your username and password? Unsuccessful. I try again, unsuccessful. So I'm just like sitting there heating up. The head coach is looking at me. The assistant coach that brought me in is looking at me. And
I would have been sweating bullets.
Oh, man.
Because technology never works when you need it to. I would have been sweating bullets.
Hey, so I would have tried so hard to remain calm. And my inside, I would have been freaking out.
Oh, 100%. I didn't know what to say. I'm like, man, like, I don't know what's going on. But he was cool. He's like, hey, don't worry about it. This won't have any impact whether you join us or not. Yeah. I'll add you on the email thread, come into practice on Monday. So that was a volunteer position as video coordinator and analytics for the program. So for that, like, I was super stoked, just to be involved at a college level in Canada. Very, very excited. So worked that year with them. And then in the summertime, I got an opportunity. One of my good friends gave me a call. He's like, hey, I'm at a prep school doing video for them. They're looking for an assistant coach. Are you interested in joining the staff? Like, it's not paid, but they'll give you housing. They'll give you food. So I was kind of torn. I'm like, I don't know if I should go back to the university level, which I love being at, or, grow as a coach and get more opportunity on the court and decision-making and practice planning at this prep school that, just came off a national championship. So it was one of the top prep schools in Canada. So going back and forth for a good few weeks. And then I decided, like, let me go the prep route and see what that's about. Yeah. And honestly, that was probably one of the best decisions I made. At that time, just for me, it was always about, how to grow as a coach, especially as a young coach. Put the title aside, put the money aside. It's like, what's going to allow me to grow as much as I can while I'm young and to get as much experience as possible. So, that was my philosophy, and that was kind of the route I took. And honestly, that was probably the best year, one of the best years of just coaching. And it was just a lot of fun. And, going through that year, it's one of those things where you don't realize, the people you're around, the team you're with, but then looking back on it, it's like, wow, like, that was, a very special year. You have multiple guys going Division I, multiple guys playing post-secondary. It was just with, a lot of good people in the building. And that year we ended up winning the championship again, back to back.
Holy cow.
So it was good, man. Like, it was a lot of fun. And I felt like I grew a lot, in those 10 months.
And that was at Rise Prep, correct?
Yeah. So that was it's actually 2 programs under the same umbrella. Okay. So that year I was with TRC Academy.
Okay.
But then there is a Rise prep associated with them.
Okay.
So the head coach I was working with, he got a job out east in Halifax at St. Francis Xavier University. Mm-hmm. And then it kind of just so happened I was able to kind of move up and get the head coaching position there for the following year. So that was my first year as a head coach. That's probably like 5 years into the journey. And that kind of that's a whole beast in itself, you know, even dealing with 16, 17, 18-year-olds. It's just, you know, being the one making the final decisions and understanding about how to build relationships with those type of players and parents. That was another, you know, great, just growing year as a coach. So after that year finished, that was the COVID. Okay. That was like, that's right at the beginning of COVID. So right around March. So season finished, you know, and then we get the email saying, you know, the next 2 weeks you're off school. So all the kids went back home. And then we're basically just trying to figure out like what's next. You know, hearing rumblings that the prep program might not be around anymore. They might just shut it down. So I think that's when I was like, all right, like I'm going to try to figure out what's next for me. But then it's just kind of a small world how it works. So my first year as the assistant coach in that prep program, one of the sons on the team, his dad was a head coach in Canada at the university level at McGill University. And then he got the job before 2 years ago, it was Ryerson, now TMU. Mm-hmm. So he knew me. He knew, you know, I'd work out his son. He'd see me in the gym a lot. So he's gave me a call and basically said, hey, I'm going to be the new head coach at TMU. Are you interested in joining the staff? So for me, it was a no-brainer. Go back home and get settled once again at the university level, but this time as a paid assistant. So that's kind of where we are. I'm definitely missing a few things in between, but that's definitely, you know, the gist of the journey.
That's incredible. And while I say it, hey, you're at Toronto right now, right?
Yeah.
Dude, you're only like 2.5 hours from me.
Where are you?
I'm in Cleveland.
Oh yeah, it's not far at all.
Is that really it?
We'll link up.
Cleveland and Toronto's 2.5 hours from each other?
Oh, it's not far at all.
It's not far at all. Yeah.
I did not know that. Dude,
right across the lake.
Yeah, man. Wow. I guess that. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Sorry, I'm gonna mute it. Sorry.
That's a great story, Rio. That's absolutely a great story. I want to back up a little bit and like, I mean, some of the things like, I mean, the kind of like you were so self-aware of like kind of what you needed to do or like which things that you were lacking and what in areas that you needed to grow. Like kind of as a coach, what is, and you went into a little bit of detail of it, but like kind of what was one of the things that hit you when you stepped into that head coaching role at the prep school? Kind of what specifically was one of those things that hit you in the face? Like, oh wow, all right, I got to figure this is one area that I really do need to grow.
For sure. I think I think a lot of it's relationship.
Yeah.
Like your relationship with the players really changes.
Yeah.
You know, as an assistant or player development, you know, often it's, you know, friendship. They see you as, you know, a big brother.
Yeah.
But now as a head coach, you know, you still want to make sure they know that you care for them and you love them. But now it's more tough love and it's tougher conversations to have. And now you're holding them to a higher standard. And, you know, and along with that, you know, it's parents as well, dealing with parents and making sure they understand what you're looking for, the standard that you're holding their child to. And sometimes they might not agree with you, but, you know, those tough conversations need to be had, you know, and that'll go a long way in building that relationship with the kid.
And then it sounds like also kind of backing up still a little bit, it sounds like you were able to find coming into the college level stuff, you were able to find your kind of role like with video and analytics and stuff. And right. You mentioned Synergy and playing around with Synergy. I looked at Synergy, just redid their site today. They you know, you can still get the legacy site, but they just redid everything. I just got the update, checked it out today. Kind of how'd you start playing around with Synergy, and what did you see when you were fishing through all these clips, and what stuck out to you and messages that you could relay to the people that you were working with?
100%. Yeah. When I took that course, that was back when I was finishing teachers college in maybe 17. It was basically a 2-month course and you had unlimited access to it. So at first it's quite overwhelming, right? You get all these numbers tossed at you.
Mm-hmm.
You have an infinite amount of clips and plays you can kind of sift through. But man, I would spend hours and hours every day, like probably more than 8 to 10 hours every day, just going through it and just understanding the interface, understanding how to sort through different things. And then you're just watching, you're just pulling clips and you're watching, right? So by the time I was able to get to the university level, it wasn't, they could trust me with what they were looking for, and they were able to relay that message to me, like, this is what we need. And for me, it was easy. Like after spending that much time and I felt really comfortable using it, it's like, no problem, boom, bang it out, send it to the coach.
Yeah.
And obviously it's changed throughout the years and the more practice, and then you find a few things here and there to make tweaks. But yeah, video is still something, I'm very passionate about. I love it. I love just watching it, and obviously it's a great tool to learn.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's just a great tool to connect different coaches.
Yeah.
Right. Sending a clip to a coach that can kind of just spark a conversation about that certain thing or something else.
Mm-hmm. Certainly, man. Certainly. Golly, I'm trying to. That was I don't know. I'm trying to think, like, how do you know what to look for when you start doing what you're doing? How do you know what to look for? Or how do you know, or are you kind of just looking and then boom, something pops up and then, oh, that's useful. How do you know exactly what
are you talking about on video, Ace?
Yeah, I know that's kind of a subjective question. It's a broad question, but just kind of what to look for, what is useful. How do you know what's useful and what's not?
Right. So like, for the videos I post on Twitter, for example, a lot of that will be execution and efficiency and what a team is running. So I'm not looking for anything in particular or a particular set, but it's more of like, how clean is it run? Is it something easy at the rim? Is it a catch and shoot three? Those are the stuff that I really like pulling. I try to stay away from, tough one-on-one situations or whatever the case is, right? But, being able to get stuff at the rim, because then it's just easy to send to a coach.
Yeah.
Right. And say, for the head coach I work with, I might send them like 5 or 10 clips, right? Here's 5 or 10 sets that I just saw that I think, we could use in our offense, and, we can implement, what do you think? What are 1 or 2 that you really like? And you kind of work off that. Right. But it's just about navigating kind of through the fluff and seeing what is run at a good pace, very efficient with a high quality look.
Yeah. Nate, oh, my fault. I think.
Sorry, Roman's talking a little bit too right now, and I do apologize for this. That we got Roman on the podcast. Roman, this is his first appearance, so Roman, say hi. So, Roman's mom right now is coaching soccer, so she's the assistant coach. This is her first year doing it, and they are currently first in the state in Ohio and 11th in the nation. They've outscored their opponents 43-1 right now through 7 games.
Wow.
So now I would love to say it's on my wife, but man, they got a heck of a head coach and they got some really good players. But all right. So going back to what you were saying about video. Okay. So was there something that got you into that originally, or were you just thinking, how can I get into the game? And you were just being really creative, if that makes sense. Was there a moment that you said, okay, video is what I'm going to go for? Because you brought into your coaches when you became the video and analytics, you were trying to bring in synergy clips.
Right. Yeah. So that it was interesting. So throughout teachers college, especially when I get to my second year, so that's around 2016, 2017. And that was my last year coaching at the high school level. And that's when I realized, hey, I want to make the jump. I want to coach college basketball. And man, so teachers college start at 9 a.m., go to 4 p.m. And I was able to get downtown around 7 o'clock in the morning. And from 7 to 9, I'll literally be on my laptop every single day trying to figure out ways how to break into basketball. Mm-hmm. And all I do is read articles, see what people are posting on YouTube. Anything I could get my hands on was, being someone who doesn't have playing experience, being someone from Canada, being someone who, I don't know anyone in the industry that can really vouch for me at that point. And everything kind of came back to video, video's your foot in. It's all about, being good at video, and then that will lead to coaching. So once I was able to pinpoint that, I was like, all right, like if video's the way it is, then I'm going to try to be the best at video. Like I'm going to do everything I can to learn everything about video and make sure I'm good at that to just get that opportunity. So basically once I found out, video was the route for that entry level position, whether it's college, whether it's G League or NBA, that's when I really put all my focus into that and took that course, on Synergy in that 2017, April, May.
Yeah. I would assume that like watching all this film and my fault. I was gonna flip that over into player development. I'm sure there are things that you were able to pick up and implement in your workouts with the guys. And as you mentioned, you love being on the court with them. And I'm sure you learned some things along the way with your dad being a coach too. But back to, I mentioned niche earlier, back to kind of finding your niche and your role on the court when it comes to workouts. What did you pick up? Where did your kind of philosophy being in the gym, where did that come from? In the way that you work, you're in the gym with your guys on the court. Where did you pick up your philosophy on that?
Right. Like a video had a huge impact on that. Mm-hmm. Right. And just being able to sort through, ball screens, for instance, and picking up the top players, whether it was Kyrie, Steph, Dame, like, all right, let me watch, 100 ball screens and what exactly they're doing, right? How are they reading it? And then from that, taking maybe 10 or 15 clips, sending it to the player before getting on the court and be like, hey, this is what we're working on. We're working on snaking a ball screen, attacking the big, pull up, at the nail, right? So now they have a visual of, okay, this is what we're working on in today's workout. And now let's go execute it on the court, right? So I think, using that as a tool, it's such a help, as a coach, but also as a player, being able to see it and then execute it, within the hour.
Yeah. And I'm sure that you were able to gain a whole lot of credibility and trust with the players, by doing your research and showing them that you've done your research prior to.
For sure. Absolutely. For sure.
So you're talking about video, and it's funny that you did all this research and you found all these articles on it. So the first time I ever met with a coach, it was Vanderbilt's video coordinator. Okay. And because I was talking about possibly being a GA, et cetera. And the way they have it at Vanderbilt is they're graduate managers. And he said, a step in the door is coding, video and coding. If you can learn how to code, that's the way that college basketball is trending. So if you know video and you can code, it's an easy step above every single competition that you have in the field right now.
Right.
You use sports code too, Rio?
I've played with it. I have used it in the past with a few teams. The team I'm with right now doesn't have it.
Yeah.
But the first time I used it was at that prep school in my first year.
Yeah.
So I was, lucky enough, the guy who was able to get me the job, Aleem, a good friend of mine, he went down to the States. He worked in the WNBA. He worked at Georgia Tech. So he was kind of my mentor. Now he's with the Toronto Raptors as a scout. But he was my mentor. And he would literally just give me his laptop and say, here we go. Like, go mess around with it, screw up, let me know. That's the way you're going to learn.
Yeah.
So I was able to play around with it a lot at that prep level in my first year and live code games and build code windows. So I've definitely had experience, throughout the years, not as much as I hope for, but, still feel pretty confident using it.
Yeah. Dude, that's super cool, man. Sports code is interesting, man. It was tough for me to learn at first, but it's kind of basically like it's almost like its own highlighter. If you're going through a book, you just get, you get to highlight the parts you want, and then you can isolate those parts and just see what you highlighted basically and watch it that way. I think it's pretty cool for that. Earlier, you said something, and I kind of want to talk about like the differences in, you being in Canada and us being in the States. Like what you said there.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Just keep going. But I got to try to feed him or something.
We're rolling.
I'm sorry, Mario.
Hey, you're good, man.
This is fatherhood.
Father duty calls.
You said there was like if you wanted to get to the I think you said if you wanted to get to the collegiate level, there was pretty much like what 3 avenues to take.
Yeah, like in Toronto, if you're looking at the university level, there's like 3 main universities.
Really, and so wow. So that's so is the college. I would assume there's probably not as many colleges in Canada as there are in the States. Am I correct in that, or are they not at athletics? Are they not as funded as much? So like why, I guess why is the pool so much smaller?
Yeah, honestly, both. Like you're looking at the university level, you're probably 50 universities across Canada.
Okay.
But yeah, honestly, the funding has gotten better.
Yeah.
But it's not nearly as what it is in the States.
Yeah.
The amount of money, the amount of resources,
mm-hmm.
We have a long way to go
mm-hmm.
to even get it, somewhat similar to what you guys have down there.
Yeah.
Which makes it difficult, right? But like I said, it's not as competitive, I would say, as breaking in,
mm-hmm.
but there's just not as many, paid jobs, paid positions across Canada. Certainly,
man. Oh yeah. I tell you what, man, the resources, you said it right there. Resources is if you're lacking those, it's tough to win and succeed at a lot of places. No matter if you're lacking those, it's really tough. Well, hey, look, we like to end the show. We only got about 10 minutes left here. We like to end the show on some rapid fire questions. Do you mind doing some rapid fire questions with us?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All right, man. Here we go. Last technical.
I only got one technical.
Yeah. What for?
Only one, and it was bad. It not on my part. It was bad on the ref's part.
Okay, of course. Yeah.
I was talking to one of my players who was on the offensive end. He was running back on defense, and I was telling my player, I'm like, man, the guy has his hands on his knees. Like, you have to attack him. The guy's tired. He has his hands on his knees. The ref looks at me and just tees me up. And I look at him. I'm like, I'm not even talking to you. Like, I don't even know why you would give me a technical.
Yeah.
And he just looked at me. He's like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And then I was able to talk to him at halftime. He's like, my bad. Like, I didn't realize that you weren't talking to me. I thought you were yelling at me. It was one of those ones. I only got one though. Only one. I try to keep my cool on the sidelines.
Yeah. So never been kicked out of a game, obviously, correct?
Not yet.
You ever dunked a basketball on a 10-foot rim?
No.
Are you leaving your best player in the first half with 2 fouls?
What year is he in? Is he a rookie?
No, I would say he's a sophomore, junior.
If he's a
junior. He's a junior. Yeah, you leaving him in? Yeah, I like that. All right, you are up 3 at the end of a game. Do you foul or let it play out?
Hell yeah.
Foul?
I'm fouling, man. I'm fouling.
Yeah, every time.
I got burned way too many times.
It happens so many times, man. Like so many times. You're like, they got to foul. And they look, Roman says foul.
Yeah. He's on board.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Hey, you playing in golf?
Unfortunately not. I'm not good.
No.
I don't have the patience.
Man, I tell you what, you need some patience for that game.
Yeah.
You need some patience for that game. All right. What would you be doing if you weren't coaching basketball?
If I'm not coaching basketball, I'm a teacher as well.
Yeah.
So I do teach. I do love it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know.
What subject do you teach? Did you already say that?
Phys ed and geography.
Physical and geography. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Geography is a good one. All right. Okay. Last one. LeBron or Jordan?
Gotta go LeBron.
Really? Yeah.
Gotta go LeBron. Yeah.
Why?
I think just from a physical standpoint.
Yeah.
Like, I think I was team Jordan for a while.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, I just thought about it a bit more and said, LeBron, he can do anything and everything he wants on the court. Right? Not saying that Jordan can't, but when you're 6'8", you can handle it, you can shoot it, you can defend, you can pass.
Yeah.
I would put LeBron as number 1.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. Well, I like that answer. Rio, dude, appreciate you coming on today. Obviously, you're super active on Twitter. Go and plug your Twitter. Tell everybody where they can find you because you post some good stuff. A lot of good information and knowledge you put out there.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. 100%.
What's your Twitter?
The handle is @Celebre.
Did I say I've been saying your name wrong, haven't I?
Hey, it's all right.
Yeah, all right, got you.
Okay.
Well, cool. Let me go and do myself real quick. You can find myself on Instagram at Ace of Spades with a Z on the end. You can find me on Twitter at Coach Ace of Spades. You can find Nathan on Instagram and Twitter at Coach Nate Moran. You can find Mind of a Coach on Instagram at Mind of a Coach, and you can find us on Twitter at Mind of a Coach Pod. Mario Celebre, good to have you on, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, I appreciate you guys, man. Anytime.
Hey, I appreciate it. Roman says he appreciate it too.
Have a good night, Roman.
Appreciate it, dog. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, fellas. Have a good night.
Yeah.